Senator, what did you make of speeches ranting against the ex-justices in his privilege, not privilege speech, but when he was explaining his vote, he named Justices Carpio Morales, Antonio Carpio, Adolf Ascuna, Renato Puno, Artemio Panganiban. He says they're the very same ones na back in 2003 voted in favor of CJ Davide using the same one-year bar rule, and now bumaliktad daw sila. And he's pointed out that sabi niya they've changed their positions. Ang pinakaiba lang is na iba yung pangalan ng nasasakta. So the implication is very clear. He's trying to say that this is all political persecution because there are people who don't like Sara Duterte. What were you thinking during this time?
I was thinking na this is deeper, this is higher than mere partisan politics. Accountability pa rin pala. At unfair, sabihan yung mga dating justices o chief justices na sa kanila usapin lang ito ng kung sino ang impeachable official at bar. Nag-iba yung mga konteksto, and definitely siguro sa mga nauna nilang mga desisyon o posisyon sa mga naunang impeachment complaints, yung mga complaint na iyan, or rather yung pagpuposisyon sa mga complaint na iyan, ay batay sa facts of the cases or facts of the complaints. I would imagine pag binilikan natin yung mga dating pagpuposisyon nila, ay hindi batay sa mga serious factual errors na sinasite dito sa kasalukuyang ruling ng Korte Suprema. Kasi imagine, sinabi sa ruling na hindi pinagbotohan in plenary ng House bago i-transmit sa Senado yung impeachment complaint. Samantalang malinaw sa records ng House na sinertify ng House Secretary General na 200 plus sa mga representante who were present ay nag-aproba dyan. At may mga iba pang mga serious factual errors na paano magiging basehan ng isa namang tamang desisyon. Meron pa nga kayong colleagues sa media na nag-anunsyo pa na yung sinight na pag-ulat daw nila na diba na hindi pagboto in plenary, sinight sa Supreme Court ruling, mali, baliktad. Sabi nila, we never reported that there was no plenary vote on the impeachment complaint. So, grabe, ang tama yung paulit-ulit na sinabi ni Minority Leader Soto, kung mali yung facts, paano magiging tama yung desisyon?
You're talking about the ABS-CBN statement.
The ABS-CBN statement, which I made a record last night.
Saying that actually they did not report that the complaint was transmitted without a plenary vote. Wala yun sa original reports nila. Go ahead,
Wala
Annie.
talaga. So saan nakuha yon ng ruling ng Korte Suprema?
Pero Senator, may mga nagsasabi din, considering the vote yesterday, mukhang desidido na yung mga because alam naman ng buong bayan kung ano yung laman ng articles of impeachment, and more or less alam na rin natin because of the congressional investigations yung mga ebidensyang ipipresenta, no? And ang sabi nung iba, kahit naman anong ruling dyan, kahit balik pa rin ng Supreme Court yung order at mapilitang mag-refile ang House, since it's the same group of senators who will vote on it, who will try the case, inaasahan natin na ganyan din ang bagsak ng boto. In fact, before the MR, eksaktong-eksakto yung sinabi. Around 19 to 20 senators will vote na i-dismiss bago dumating yung MR. Yung pang-20, yung nag-vacillate si Senator Ping Lacson, eksakto, ang galing, di ba? I mean, ang sinasabi ng mga tao, bakit pa ba itutuloy? Exercise in futility lang daw. Ano po yung masasabi nyo sa ganong obserbasyon?
Never an exercise in futility. Ang Senado po ay deliberative body. Nakita nyo naman po kahapon, 6.5 oras kaming nagdebate bago pa kami nagbotohan ng 2 beses. At kung mayroong in the future na mag-file na mamamayan o representante, kahit pa pareho yung grounds na isa-cite nila or iba, pag tinransmit sa Senado, duty-bound kami at aming solong kapangyarihan na dinigin yan at magdesisyon dyan. There's never an exercise in futility. I always say, walang mabuting bagay na nasasayang. At by the way, hindi po nag-vacillate si Senator Ping. Malinaw sa kanyang explanation of vote sa pangalawang boto, yung kanilang pag-abstain, yung basehan nila. It was still based on pagrespeto sa Korte Suprema at pag-uphold ng eminent principle ng accountability at paghaya, no, na huminog yung mga proseso at huwag i-shortcut ito o huwag i-short circuit ito.
But at the same time, just to follow through on Ami's point, at the same time, Senator, this was the first big test for the new minority bloc, no?
Yes.
And we already saw, well, you divided. Senators Lauren Legarda and Mig Zubiri voted in favor of the majority. How should we read into that? Is it going to be like this all the time, or did you talk about it? Ano pong insight doon?
Ang insight ko dito ay tulad pa rin nung nagsimula kami bilang isang minority. We are united on fulfilling the mandate ng isang minority sa Senado na mag-check and balance, mag-fiscalize, itaguyod ang mga tradisyon at saka rules ng Senado. We don't expect each other, kaming lima, to always vote the same way on every single issue. Pero within the collegial body that is the Senate, nagiging po kaming isang napaka-collegial na minority din. And yes, to greater and lesser degrees, pinag-uusapan namin halos lahat ng mga issue. Kaya at least among us, walang masyadong gulatan. And I'm confident na even after the long and really exhausting debate last night, magpapatuloy yung aming paghahanap ng greater and greater unities at greater and greater effectiveness bilang isang minority. On the floor nga kagabi, habang ina-explain naming lahat yung aming mga boto, nagsisimula na rin kaming mag-usap sa minority sa mga susunod na legislative battles na ilulunsad namin sa loob ng Senado.
So you knew going in that Senators Legarda and Zubiri were not going to vote with you, but were you disappointed?
But was I?
Disappointed.
Well, of course, I had wished for a better overall vote, no, sa aming 24. Pero sa aming 24 at lalo na sa aming 5, there is that very strong mutual respect. So moving forward, we'll always start fresh sa bawat debate, sa bawat importanteng issue, and seek the broadest possible unity among us 5.